Welcome to Medical Sales Live, the #1 resource for breaking into medical sales and building your career.
Hello, Medical Sales Live. I'm Rich McKillop, Chief Commercial Officer at Medical Sales College and co-host of Medical Sales Live. Today, we're bringing you a conversation between John Akers, our COO at Medical Sales College, and Scott Reynolds, Watchman Territory Manager at Boston Scientific. Scott has been in the field for over a decade now, but it took him some time to break into medical sales. Ultimately, this industry has permanently changed his life and the trajectory of his family tree. Listen in as he shares his journey from college student to struggling subscription salesman to finally entering and succeeding in medical sales. Enjoy.
Today we have with us Mr. Scott Reynolds, Territory Manager with Watchman from Boston Scientific. Scott, welcome. Great to see you, my man.
Thanks for having me.
Did you always know that you wanted a career in medical devices?
A lot of my friends were athletes and were trying to find jobs in the medical device space, especially specifically orthopedics, because of their experience being an athlete and knowing the body and working with orthopedic surgeons. And those injuries are generally sports related. So I had friends that went into that field, and I saw how successful they were at such a young age and how exciting it was, and that's something that I wanted to do. So I put myself in that position to get into that field, which was not easy initially. I wish I could have graduated and just went to medical sales college and then got a job. That would have been great. But, so at the time, I graduated from Florida, went to grad school trying to figure out what I was going to do. And then I went into B2B sales selling for a gym, ads and gym memberships, which doesn't seem very appealing. Didn't make me a lot of money, and quite honestly, it was very tough, doing cold calling and stopping by random restaurants and talking about placing ads.
Scott, when we talk about, changing lives, I know that when you're in the industry, you change lives of patients and physicians and customers, right? But I'd like to talk about a change of life that you experienced as, growing up with humble beginnings, and then graduating from UF, starting out in difficult positions, but then entering the med device space, 15 years ago now, and starting in orthopedic trauma, and now in the really the most prestigious sector of cardiology in the structural heart space. Tell us about the change that's happened in your life and your family, and what's different about when you grew up now and how you're providing for your family.
Yeah, coming from a very humble upbringing, like I said, a lower to middle class family, I was never accustomed to the things that I've gotten or been able to earn being in medical devices. Starting out of college when I went to Stryker and then Abbott and Boston Scientific, the from a financial perspective, what I was able to put myself in, the position I'm in now with 3 kids. Now I live on the water in Jupiter. I'm 37 years old. I would say that's pretty successful, and all of it was self-induced. It was all based on my career, based on everything I did and I earned myself. I was never given anything. I took debt to go to college. I took debt to go to grad school, and I paid all that off. I earned everything that I've gotten through medical device. If I didn't go through medical device and I was able to make 6 figures at a young age and able to grow my career, I don't know where I'd be at this point. So on top of learning the proficiencies, on top of the patient care, and on top of career growth and the people I've met in this industry, financially it's been extremely rewarding, and something I would have never seen myself at 10, 15 years ago, coming from where I came from. Not saying that money's everything, but it's been life-changing, and hopefully, it continues that way so I can retire early, and I owe that to this space and the companies that are in the medical device space. So,
great story. So Scott, when you shared your pathway of into med device through B2B, right? And I think that's a perception, and also certainly a pathway that many have entered the med device space through with B2B. But was that did that fully prepare you? Was that the answer? I mean, how were you when you actually got into Stryker? I know you said a year and a half or a couple of years of B2B experience, but did you feel like you were fully prepared at that point? Or how was that transition when you entered
Yeah, I mean, the answer is definitely not. Wasn't prepared for the job, the striker job when I first entered the device industry, just from B2B. Absolutely not. Far from it. So I think there's a lot of misconceptions from people generally thinking that they can just do B2B and jump into medical device, or medical device is easy and everyone's making so much money and everyone could do it. That couldn't be farther from the truth. I mean, getting into medical device is very hard, especially at a younger age. Medical device companies are looking for people that have proficiencies like that, having a background like the medical sales college, those type of things, to even have a chance to interview, not even to get the jobs. Because what people don't realize is when you're interviewing generally against 10, 20, 30 people with probably more experience than you, even if you have 2 years of B2B. Many people do 10 years of B2B. They're 35, 40 years old trying to get in a medical device, okay? So that, to begin with, is you're already at a deficit. Then getting into that space, landing the job's even harder. And then once you do land a job, if you do, which is rare, it's being successful into that job. So I'm so happy that I took that opportunity and I was able to land the job when I did when I was younger. But I would say the advice is go for it, but be prepared. Take an opportunity with the medical sales college. Have the best resume you can to be able to interview with one of these device companies to land that job, because a six-figure salary is just right around the corner. A great future at a great company with pension benefits, everything, stock options. The craziest thing that you can imagine is around the corner and available to everybody, but it's not easy.
Well, Scott, thank you once again for taking time out and coming to the Medical Sales Live studios here in Tampa, Florida, and sharing your story. Take care. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it, John.
Thanks for tuning in to Medical Sales Live. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel for the latest in all things medical sales.